Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And wow, a lot of fire energy so far. We've got the Eon, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire. You're somebody who is ready to transcend. You're ready to kind of take off into the future. You're ready to I don't know, let's move into a higher dimension, move on to a new timeline, to enter a new universe, right? And the card that sort of popped out was the Luster Strength card. So we'll use both of these as our beginning, as our starting point. The fiery doorway is there. It's appearing before you. This is a portal just in your driveway, right? And it wants you to go through it. This is like a wormhole to a new reality, okay? And it is a reality that has, I think, more intensity, right? For one thing, with the Lust or Strength card, this card here, it's going to take some courage for you to go through this doorway. Because I feel like you're going to have to leave some things behind, you know? But this is also, I think, talking about the new sort of adventure that you're looking for. The intensity, the passion of life, right? The robust, vital energy that you're moving into. This is good. We're going to do some more cards, okay? But I feel like you're the type of person that you're ready for something more. You're ready to transcend. You're ready for some intense adventure. You're ready for some sort of wormhole to an alternate reality, you know? Ready for something that is really intense. I feel like you're not somebody who typically likes roller coasters, but right now you're just like, I want a friggin' roller coaster, you know? I want something. I want to feel my heart beating. I want to feel the adrenaline. I want to feel scared. I want to feel excited, you know? That's this passion that you're after. And I think that your portal, your doorway here, I think is appearing before you right now. I think that there is maybe even something you're already aware of. You might already see this doorway sort of forming before you, okay? Let's do the rest of our cards here. We'll keep these two as our starting point. And then we've got, of course, some air energy. So what interferes with transcendence? What interferes with leveling up? What interferes with all of this passion and creativity, all of this fire energy? Sometimes we think about it too much, right? Sometimes there's just a little bit, it sounds nice, but maybe tomorrow. Right? We've got a Two of Cups. We could be talking love, romance, connections. Got a Wheel of Fortune. Now we got a lot of major arcana here. More air, of course, that makes sense. And the Builder energy with the Prince of Pentacles, the Sun card, the Universe card, the Death card. Are we going to go 4 for 4? No, more Earth energy. Interesting. The Knight of Pentacles, however, is one of your superpower cards. This is the card that represents the sign of Capricorn in action, doing what Capricorn does. All right. So this is a lot of major arcana. Holy cow. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is a factor, infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here. We're going to put our very own Kelly Kapoor right on top. Shout out to Mindy. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card at any point during the reading, put it in the comments down below. Let's utilize this time to exercise and practice our intuition. All right, I think it'll be good for you, and it's kind of fun to play along. All right, let's take a look around the room. A lot of majors. Major, 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 major. 6. Over half of the reading is major arcana. This is a huge spiritual leveling up, right? A huge spiritual leveling up. We've got, we don't have any fire cards. We've got a water card. And we've got a couple of swords cards, and we've got a couple of pentacles or earth energy. Okay, so the only thing we're really missing is the fire. And of course, that's where we're going, right? Where we're going, we don't need roads, right? We need fire. There is a road here though, right? There is a path forward. But this is where the fire energy is coming from. We're going through this fiery portal, this wormhole, to get to the fire, to get to a life that we're passionate about, to get to this feeling of destiny, of love. I want the excitement. I want to feel like I'm on a spiritual quest. You know, I want to feel as if you know, let's say my actions are meaningful, that I'm doing something, that I'm a star in space, that I'm, you know, just I can't even find the words to express that kind of fire energy. You know, we're the sun in space. We're just this ball of radiant spiritual fire, and we're just flying through space and time at astronomical speeds, right? This is quite stunning that you are this star in space, right? Very good cards today. But let's talk about the Princess of Swords. It feels to me like, yes, we want all these things, but then it's kind of like, but then real life happens, you know? We have these aspirations. We want this creativity, this fire, this passion, this love and lust. We want this inspiration. We want this fire. And the fiery doorway, it's fire to get there. It's going to take a major decision. It's going to take some courage on your part to get there, okay? Maybe that means some changes are taking place. And so we feel that, we get inspired for that, we start yearning for that, but then it's like, oh, I've got to take out the trash, pay the bills, I've got to do the laundry, you know. The kind of real life stuff gets in the way. Yeah. So sometimes I think we can overthink things. And that's unfortunate, because you have all of this creative fire in you. And now, Capricorn, I've said this to you before. Someone in your life, in your past, had told you to turn your light down, dim your shine, be a little quieter, be a little bit less noticeable, right? I feel like that's a very important part of your energy, an important part of your history. I like that we have the Sun card here as your general energy, because that tells me that you're not turning your shine down, that you're not dimming your light any longer, okay? This is still that little bit of energy that is like, well, I should keep it down, you know? No, be loud, be proud, yeah. This is also a card that says you might have to learn some new skills here. That whatever this doorway is, okay, and I feel like it's an opportunity. It could be something that's been there for a long time, and you've been feeling it calling to you, pulling you, but you're just, no, I got stuff I got to do. Maybe it's getting more and more difficult to ignore that call. And it's a doorway that may be sort of materializing as a relationship opportunity, a travel opportunity, a job, career, creative opportunity, right? Something that's just kind of there, and it wants you to pursue it, okay? It could be that dream that you've always just kind of thought of, like just kind of dropping everything and traveling, or just putting all your efforts into doing that creative thing, starting your own YouTube channel, or you know, starting your cottage business from your house, or your Etsy, or whatever, right? Finally putting all this energy into your music, anything. It could be something very practical too. It could be that idea of going back to school, or going after that job that you really have kind of always wanted, but you just kind of, well, I'm comfortable here. Maybe I should just stay here, So we've got the Princess of Swords, and I do think the Princess of Swords is about learning new things. So it is something that, well, it's going to take some effort. Okay, you're going to have to learn new information in a very literal way. The Two of Cups underneath everything, this is something for which you feel strongly identified with. It almost feels like you're here and you're sort of double, right? The mirror image of you is out there as in front of this doorway saying, come over here. It's yourself is calling to you, your higher self, your truer self. That's what the Two of Cups really is. It's the first love, the first true love, right? It's the union inside of us, of our physical body and the spirit, creating this soul, right? Son. That first love we experience is the love of the divine, of our higher self, God, Goddess, deity, whatever you want to call it, right? The union of your body with your spirit, creating that soul. And this love, of course, manifests in many different ways. This will go on to become romantic love, platonic love, divine love, self-love, ubiquitous love for humanity, for the world and the universe itself. We got the universe in here too, right? We've got everything in this reading for you. This is really, really a transcendent time for you, okay? So the Two of Cups, I feel like you're somebody who feels that pull. You feel like your self is calling to you. Your true self is calling to you, right? Calling you back home, calling you into who you're meant to be, what you're meant to be doing, where you're meant to be doing it. I do think there's a lot of travel in your future. I do think that you have fallen in love, first and foremost, with your own spirit, right? And maybe this is leading to other forms of love for you as well. Maybe part of this passion and this intensity is you taking a chance on other forms of love, being open to these really intimate connections with other people, platonically, romantically, in business and, family, all these things. Wanting to find the zest in every kind of one-on-one relationship in life. Really making every interaction in your life, even if it's just at the coffee shop or whatever, making it something that's memorable. Having those kind of peak experiences, and it's these experiences represented by the lust card that we do remember. These are those major events in life where we were present and it was intense, and I'll never forget that encounter, and we all have a few of these at least. You could think of something from your childhood, something from last week or a couple years ago that may not have been a life-changing moment, but it had the intensity of your conscious awareness. And therefore it is a sort of permanent memory, a vivid memory, right? And that's really the key to having a good memory, is to really feel the moment that you're in. If you really have that feeling tone attached to whatever you're doing, let's say the Princess of Swords really is trying to learn something new out of a textbook, right? You will remember that information if you can attach it to a feeling, if you can feel the passion in the moment that you're studying a textbook, right? Then you will never forget that information. You have to attach it to something vivid. The emotions are kind of the primary memories that we have, really. It's kind of the closest thing, to source. It's almost the most fundamental thing we have is the feeling tone of something. Even before we had, the cerebral cortex or whatever it is to think about things, we had the feeling of something. Anyway, I digress a little bit. In the background position, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. You always have known that you were meant for great things. I think that you have an awareness that there has always been a bit of luck, a bit of a divine hand in your life. Okay? I think that no matter what you were doing or who you were with or where you were, it always felt like there was some sort of a guiding hand. I think it was yourself, your higher self, spirit. I feel like it's always sort of led you into, I don't want to say safe places, but led you into stable sort of environments, right? Always sort of kept you in a good place. You've always had, I think, relative stability, in terms of career and finances and bills and all that stuff. This is primarily one of those sort of abundant energies that talks about treasures and riches and abundance and the growth and the expansion of your means, right? So it could be that you're already very successful in your career. It could be that you already have the means, okay? And I think that in some ways, when we look at these two cards together, the Prince of Pentacles and the Jupiter energy, it's kind of saying that as this wheel turns, as this energy expands, you have the means necessary to go through this doorway and build this future, to build this new universe, this new reality of yours. Okay? And the Seven of Swords at the top, this is kind of saying that you don't know the directions. You don't have the plan. I don't have a map. And so I said at the beginning, where we're going, we don't need roads. Right? We don't need to follow any prescribed path. This is something that I think that you're kind of inventing as you go. That's why we've got the Princess of Swords too, because it's a learning process. You've got to take in the information and figure things out in real time as you create this. So this is kind of saying that, look, I really would like to have my GPS on. I'd really like to have a map or something, turn-by-turn directions. Let me print out the map quest or whatever it is. Let me know, do you remember MapQuest? Let me know in the comments what you think about this, because I remember back in the day printing out the MapQuest directions. It would be like 50 pages of turn-by-turn directions. I used to drive for a living, and it would just be the big blown-up arrow and the street name, and you would just, page by page, it would tell you where to go, right? And it was insane, the amount of paper that you'd go through to print out your MapQuest directions, right? Let me know if you remember that. You don't need any of that now, right? This is kind of saying that you've got your own sort of compass, that you can feel that calling, right? Something is pulling you toward. You kind of know how to do it. Yes, you're going to have more things to learn. You're going to have to build. You're going to have to use your fingers and toes and your hands and your feet and move the physical environment around, move your physical self around. But you don't need to follow any prescribed course. There's no road leading you there. Okay? This is a new thing. There is no road here. Because in the future position, we've got the Prince of Pentacles. That is the builder. You are sort of paving this road as you go. You're cutting the path through the jungle as you progress. Okay? So maybe this is even really you moving into a future, moving into this new universe, this new reality, this new timeline, where nothing is prescribed, where nothing is predicted, where nothing is determined, where nothing is like already written for you. Yeah. Where you get to sort of construct it as you go. That's a lot of responsibility. I said it was going to take some courage. That's a heavy weight, to be responsible for that. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's free. All right. And I really, really do appreciate that. Leave a comment for me as well. Yeah. General energy. Path of the serpent. We've got the sun. We've got the soul. Right? And this is the full activation of your soul. This is you really with a conscious awareness of who you are and where you're going. You know your will. Now, just because you know where you're going doesn't mean you have the turn-by-turn directions. We're figuring out, we're blazing the trail as we go. Okay? You're somebody now that I think you turn on the charm and the charisma. I feel like you used to be maybe a little shy. You used to be kind of a person that like maybe didn't trust people very much, and you were kind of quiet. And I think that's from your upbringing. You know, I feel like you were told, like I said, you're kind of told to keep it down, kind of stay back there, let the adults talk, you know. I feel like now you're front and center. I feel like even in your the way you present yourself, maybe from the sort of the darker colors, the muted colors, now you're just, I mean, you probably got a jacket just like mine now, right? I feel like you just shine, you radiate, and you don't mind if people notice you, right? You're not turning your light down at all. I feel like you have a confidence. I feel like you speak clearly. You say it loud so the people in the back can hear you, you know? And I love to see that. I love to see Capricorn. I don't know why. Me and you have a really strong connection, and it's always been that way with Capricorn. And I love it. And I feel like we always get this theme here. It's always this sort of, it's always the turning up of your light. Shine brighter, Capricorn, shine brighter. Yeah. The universe is a dark place. Here in the environment, we have the universe or the world card. This is a cold, vast universe. It needs your light. It needs your light. In some ways, this is you venturing out into the unknown, being that star in space that everywhere you go, you bring the light. If there were no stars, it would just be dark matter, right? You are absolutely necessary and required in this. The universe needs you. Okay? And now, of course, we run into the problem of, well, we're all kind of expendable. And in a very relative way, the universe doesn't care if we're here or not, you know. But in maybe a more abstract or esoteric way, you're absolutely required. Your consciousness is required here. Okay? You are a star in space. You are a radiant spiritual being. And you, I think, are moving into your spiritual self, your true will. This is a real spiritual enlightenment. I think that you've probably already undergone. I think it's a continual process. I think that you've experienced the illumination at some point in your life. And I feel like it's ongoing. There might be kind of bursts of it here and there, but I feel like it's a gradual process as well. We do have that death card to talk about next. The universe card is also you really figuring out what kind of universe you want to live in. You're bringing your light, you're bringing your creativity, your consciousness to the universe. What does that universe look like to you? The universe is just dark matter until there is stars. So in other words, it is your presence that is creating the reality. You being there is what makes all of this. Okay? So in this abstract or esoteric way, you're creating your own universe. Yeah. I think it's a slow, gradual process. We've got that death card next. The issue with the death card, it's in the position of what you don't want. Well, I think you don't want to run out of time. See, with the universe card, we feel like we're sort of, in some ways, that we are outside of time and space, and we're able to look at time and space objectively. But it's something else. We're not in there. But we are, right? And so we are subject to time. Yeah. And sometimes we worry that there may not be enough of it. We all, I think, and this is something that I've been talking about lately on this channel, is this idea of wanting more time. You know, as we get older, it's kind of like, are we wishing we had more time, or are we saying, gosh, I hope the movie would hurry up and end? You know, do we have too much time that we don't want to use it? Can I just leave early? You know? I feel like you're going through life always wishing that there was more time and more space, because then it's more for us to fill. It's more for us to do. You're not running out of the will, right? I think time is the clock is running out before you're finished doing what you're doing, right? And I think that's better than us being kind of finished with our work, and then it's just like, got to wait for 5 o'clock, when that bell rings and we can leave. So time is really sort of an issue with all of us, the way we experience time. Because I think when you're in this fiery, passionate energy that we're talking about, time goes by very, very quickly. That you're burning with this intense zest and passion and robustness. 1,000 years have gone by. I said, wait a minute, 1,000 years? I just started, And of course, when you are in your cosmic solar energy, time is a lot different than when you're in your sort of human consciousness, But let's talk about your superpower card at the end here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. And that is the vision of the future. That's you really able to see in a very practical, real way the kind of life you want, who you want to be, where you want to be, and what you want to be doing down the road. 5, 10 years, whatever we're talking about in terms of human time and space. Outside of the cosmic, okay, now we're back down to earth again. So this is, whatever this opportunity is, if this is your new life, your new world, the family that you want to build, the business you're going to build, the artistic life, yourself, the way you want to build your relationship with yourself or with the universe, you have the vision of what you want it to look like. And say, my 10-year goal, this is what I want things to be. Now we have to start figuring out how to get there. We have to start paving the road or cutting our way through the jungle to get there. Because see, the Knight of Pentacles can see the future, can see what it wants, can have the vision of myself in the future. What am I doing? Where am I doing? What kind of jacket do I got on 10 years from now, I hope I'm still here on YouTube and you can see what I'm wearing in 10 years. But see, that's not enough. We then have to start walking. See, the Knight of Pentacles is kind of stopped and is looking out and can see everything, yeah. Now what do? Well, now we got to start walking. Now we've got to start flying again. Where we're going, we don't need roads, right? We can transcend, we can go straight up. I bet this is going to be the Fool. We're going to do the mystery card now, maybe the Fool card. I wouldn't mind that energy. We could maybe see how the water energy is going to unfold. What kind of love is this going to really become? I kind of think it's going to be more major arcana energy, though. So it could be the Lover's card, it could be the Fool card, it could be the World card again. If you have a prediction, go ahead, put it in the comments. Now's your chance. Here we go. Knight of Cups. Well, of course. Because guess what? Knight of Cups is the Cancer energy. What always shows up in a Capricorn reading on this channel? Your opposite sign, Cancer. Knight of Cups. This is really this is sort of the method by which, we think of the Knight of Pentacles isn't moving, stopped, just looking out at the future, right? Trying to see. The way forward for you is using your opposite sign, your counterpart, shadow, alter ego, Cancer sign energy, because Capricorn and Cancer are at opposite ends on the wheel of the zodiac. Okay, so it is sort of your unconscious self. And that's the way forward. See, the Knight of Cups is moving forward with a cup, with an offering. Are we asking for water? Or are we out here giving water to other people? Well, I think this card's both. I think it depends on the moment. But this is the card of receiving love and water energy, and also of giving water energy and giving love out to the universe. In other words, follow your heart. Follow your intuition. Follow your bliss. Right? Some days you will be asking for water in your cup. Other days you will be offering water to other people. And that's the give and take. That's the ebb and flow of life. And that's how I think you are feeling your way through this. See, we don't need roads. We just need to see where the water's going. The water doesn't need a road, right? The water's just going to find a way. It's going to flow wherever it needs to. Be like water. Yeah. And I think that's why we end with the earth energy, right? If this is the road, we don't need roads. We just need the water. We need to pour the water and see where it flows and follow it. Yeah, be the water. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, and I think you should, there's a link up in the corner. There is also a link down in the video description. New readings for Capricorn, Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. Thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.